Look at your fancy clothes.
Cosplaying as the Abyss Watchers.
Yeah. Your French hat there.
So unfortunately, those big balls skeletons, they respawn.
Yep.
Of course they do.
They don't give you anything else, but I mean they're back.
Now, does the crab respawn?
You know, I don't know. I should look at that.
Next LP.
So whatever game you're LPing next, you just start off with discovering if the crab is back.
Yeah, just splice that into the game somehow.
I'm trying to think of what game would be like the least appropriate.
Probably like a Kirby game or something.
Dang,
Dang, that crystal lizard's
okay.
got moves.
Okay, bye.
So that happens more often than not.
It still gave you your thing, though, which...
It does technically die.
Okay, well, that's good.
You want to know what else technically dies?
That? Okay, bye. Is that what this whole video is going to be? Just you throwing things off edges?
No. Otherwise, this next part would be really easy.
And I take it it's not.
It is if you don't do what I do. So those bars on the right, as we walked in, they're actually part of a shortcut. You can see the lever there for them.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I was helping somebody else out, and they opened it, and I'm like, how the hell did I never see that?
Oops.
So, welcome to hell.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of skeletons. Okay.
So I could have just run off over that bridge and not really had to deal with them, but I want to talk to somebody.
Okay, there's a reason for your madness.
No, not really, but I mean...
Oh.
It's not a good reason or anything, but...
Okay. At least they're staying back. Sort of. Now they're not.
They don't really always.
They decided to change their minds. Oh my god.
So there's a lot.
That's so many.
This is maybe the second time I've ever tried to face all of them legitimately, kind of.
I mean, that sword has such a good long arc that it makes this a little easier. Except if you miss.
A bit better if the swing wasn't vertical.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the heavy attack is horizontal, but it has a bit longer of a wind-up. Damn, I'm good.
Yeah, it was well played. I'm impressed.
Just need to add in like a kill feed at the bottom.
Oh man, I don't even know how many skeletons there are there. It feels like 20 to 30.
It's a lot.
Oh boy, it's Henri.
Hello. We meet again.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Have you seen Horace anywhere?
Not yet.
Oh yes, I see. I've searched high and low with no luck. Perhaps he's left the catacombs. Oh, Horace, where have you run off to?
With another lady.
Oh,
He's not that lucky. He's actually quite lonely,
Oh.
because he doesn't talk.
He's at kind of a low point in his life.
what a horrible thought.
Yeah, he's deep down in the depths.
I feel like all characters are kind of at a low point in their lives in this game.
So this is actually a part of Henri's questline that you can end prematurely.
Yep.
By killing her.
Well,
You can always do that. But I mean, the thing that you could do is if we did find Horace and tell her where Horace is, that could end the quest line. But we need her for a couple more steps.
Okay.
But first, I need to fight a piece of like tableware, drinkware. I need to fight this cup.
I mean, we've been running all over the catacombs, fighting lots of skeletons. We're feeling pretty thirsty.
I like the craftsmanship of a skull chalice. that doesn't drill too deep from the top where it like gets into the eye holes and then just leaks everywhere. You don't want that.
No, that's not good.
This is leaking, but like from the bottom.
Yeah, it's like you pour it in and it would immediately just fall out. And it's a lot more liquid than you'd think it would hold. And now it's exploding.
Well, it's very heavy. It's like they took a cube of dry ice and just added some like water dyed or black dyed water.
And just let it go. Well, that's good. It's completely dark.
Well, I mean, at least there's nothing in here with us.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's just an item over there.
I'm gonna go get it.
That's not a trap. Oh, I lied. It's a trap.
So, welcome to Wolnir.
Yeah, High Lord Wolnir.
I have very mixed feelings about this boss fight.
I'm not a big fan, personally.
That looks devastating.
So I want you to guess what his weak point might be.
Is it his face?
It's not his face. That'd be very hard to hit. I'm not that tall.
I thought he was just gonna drop down.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Is it the item in the center?
It's his fancy jewelry.
Yep.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So you can kind of damage him by hitting his hands, but to do any real damage, you have to break off his 3 bracelets.
Yep. And he's sort of constantly advancing on you.
And moving those bracelets around.
So, the reason that I like this boss fight is that, you know, sometimes you can beat him very quickly, like in under 20 seconds, if you have the right build, and if he behaves.
Right.
He doesn't behave.
That's always the hard part. Okay. That's a crazy-ass sword.
Yeah, it's Wolnir's big baby toy after he got taken over by the Abyss.
At least you could dodge through that, that's good.
It's... the hitbox tends to maybe stay up longer, because like he can drag you with his hand inadvertently.
Right.
But now his sword's gone, so I don't have to deal with that.
You know, I think that is the first time I have ever seen his sword. Like, him actually using it.
Oh, you're gonna see it at least one more time.
So I don't think he ever used it on me when, like, the 2 or so playthroughs I did at this game.
So about that sword.
It's back.
Yeah?
So the worst 2 parts of this fight are the abyss that he spews out of his mouth, because if you get too close to him, there is a damage over time that will kill me in like less than 2 seconds.
Yeesh.
Yep, it's roughly tied to the fog, though I don't think the hitboxes always line up quite perfectly.
And that's the real problem, is when he advances. If you're caught back by him when he starts, probably not going to make it out alive.
Yeesh.
And there is a wall at the top of the arena, so he can just pin you up against that, and then you're basically dead.
Awesome.
And the other part I don't like is when he summons skeletons, because I think he can summon wheel skeletons, but then he just kind of disappears.
Yeah, he's really easy if you know what you're doing.
He just really pissed off that you broke his jewelry. He's got to go get more.
So there's like a wall there when he disappears that you can't really go past.
Right.
So they're like, how do we make him fall like that one Lord of the Rings person? You remember Lord of the Rings, right, guys?
Yeah.
You know
Rohan.
those movies. And they're like, no, we'll just de-render him. Who cares?
That's the easiest way to do it.
I think the lore on him is something like he's got a contract with the Abyss, so the Abyss is trying to claim him, and the jewelry he stole from some clerics keeps him out of that.
So the lore is kind of really light on Wolnir. All we know is that he hated other people with crowns, so he literally crushed them up, so he would have the only one. And then he got those bracelets and that sword from clerics, and he's like, oh no, darkness, please don't take me. And then it took him, and then he's like, well, I'm gonna fucking kill everybody now.
Yep. And then and you send him back into the darkness again.
And at this point, I feel like we're reading something related to Kingdom Hearts.
Oh man. Please don't remind me of that game. I'm trying to forget before the third one comes out.
Okay, that's not where you cut it.
It doesn't matter. This is a trick that I did not know existed until I read up on it. But if you cut down bridges, they turn into ladders.
That makes sense, I suppose.
I like that you just shove your hands in the wood planks and slide straight through them.
Yeah, that's a little bit nonsensical. Oh, hello.
Friend's back.
Okay.
Yep.
So what I like about this encounter with the demon is that this skeleton just accidentally hit the demon.
Mm-hmm.
So now they are going to fight.
Oh, good.
Also, the skeletons do a ridiculous amount of damage to the demon for some reason.
Of course they do. And he can't hit the... Oh, there he got it. Okay.
No matter who loses, we win.
Yeah. So if you hadn't killed it, does that thing normally have like a big area effect attack like the first demons did?
It can. I would be more concerned about when it does its fire breath, because that is very painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurts a lot.
So all of the skeletons in this room have white eyes, which means, of course, they have to respawn once.
Mm-hmm.
Before you actually take them out.
But I'm going to try my luck again, because I want to see if I can get this goddamn headpiece.
I'm pretty sure the Mimic will also just utterly destroy the demon if you get them to fight each other.
Don't think I've ever tried that.
That would be very interesting.
I want to know if the Mimic can, like, grab the demon and then eat it.
I would guess not, but it'd be pretty great if someone managed to make that work. Now, I do think, if I remember right, the soul of that demon can be used to make a punching weapon that looks really cool, but is probably one of the worst weapons in the game damage-wise.
So, I wouldn't shit-talk that weapon too much, because you might be seeing me use it.
Oh, I hope it's better for you than it was for me when I was playing this game on launch.
I wear it 100% for style, because it has a really, really fancy but utterly useless against bigger enemies, like a special attack.
Yep, I remember the spin to win.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like most fist weapons would be relatively useless against big enemies.
There's a thing you can do to smaller enemies that may or may not make them feel bad.
Okay.
It's not a thing you can really feasibly do against a good person in PvP, but it's fun when I do it against NPC invaders.
Right.
But I mean, it's decent enough. I like that it does fire damage. That's also cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think the problem with it, at least on release, maybe they've changed how it works since, was that it does split damage between fire and physical. And split damage is bad in this game because they get like the two parts of damage get resisted separately.
So you're essentially having both.
You're essentially
pieces.
stacking your enemy's armors on top of each other.
Yeah. That's not good.
Yeah, this area is real cool. Might look a bit familiar.
So it looks like it does kind of do split damage, but it also does bleed.
Oh, I feel like it didn't do bleed on release, but maybe it did and I just never noticed.
I played through the rest of the game with at least that weapon equipped. I didn't even notice it did bleed. So Maybe it doesn't?
Oh, it's a big ballista. Okay.
Yep.
It's a triple ballista.
Yeah.
We'll get to see it later if you do all of this area.
Yep. I need to turn that thing off in order to fully explore this area, but not before I make it do something.
There's a couple things.
Open up a secret area.
So I'm only going to have it open this, so we can get the overall defense ring against elemental damage.
Right. Oh.
And then we're going to ignore that sound.
Oh. Can't ignore that.
So let me link you to my 30-part video series about how that thing is totally Solaire.
Okay, so I was researching what the hell that thing was even called, and it's like the Carthus sandworm, and then I saw little like bullet points like, hey, this might be Solaire, and I'm like, what?
Just fuck off.
Is it because of the thing it drops?
I think it's just because it's a worm and Solaire got a worm stuck on his head in the first game.
That's their whole fan theory is Solaire got a bug on his head, so this is Solaire. Even though you can save
we're done.
him.
Stop it. Dark Souls is not worth saving. This isn't worth it.
But there's so much lore to be had.
Actually, the problem is there isn't enough lore to be had.
That was the joke, yes. Thank you for not understanding my sarcasm.
Well, I guess you're feeling pretty down in the dumps, like this motherfucker. So we found Horus.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's not good.
His name is red, which means he's getting a sword in the stomach.
I meant it wasn't good that you found Horus.
So he's just generally mad at us.
For...
I don't know, maybe?
I think he just went hollow is the idea.
Enough grunting and I think we all go hollow.
True.
So if we come down here, fight Horus, and go back up and tell Henri that Horus is down here, Henri comes down here and turns hollow.
Yep, and that is the end of that quest line.
And this motherfucking message.
It doesn't have a toggle like it did in the first game?
I think it's because you have to kind of be on the wall to get it, and the message takes up the entire thing. And, I don't know, hitboxes maybe?
Probably that.
You read the message, he knew what he was doing.
You saw that gesture.
Yeah, he's an ass.
So, Smoldering Lake is just this lake. Like, we've seen the entirety of it, but
Is it really a lake?
it's lake enough. We call everything with some liquid on the ground a swamp in this game, but it's lake enough.
Okay.
At least this water doesn't slow down your movement.
Thank God.
Yeah, granted.
But there is an area that this connects to that is a little bit more fleshed out.
Yep.
But first we have to cross the path of Solaire.
Right.
All the while being shot at, so that's not cool.
No, that's fun. Oh, he's electrified.
Yep.
Even more cool. Can you use the ballista against him, I'm assuming?
I've heard you can. I have never tried it.
It is the easiest way by far to kill it. And you don't really use the ballista so much as stand so that the ballista's firing through the worm at you.
Right.
So here's the boss.
Oh, okay. Try again.
So
Alright, one more time.
So that's the boss door. We're not going to go there. First, we're going to take care of the area that the boss is next to. And we're going to take care of that sandworm later. But first, we need to deal with that ballista.
Right. Well, at least there's a bonfire here.
Yep.
I spy a friend in the... Oh, this is not a friend. This man was very mean to me,
He was.
but we might have to re-deal with him later.
Nah, I'm pretty sure he's gone forever.